Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to myself. These past 3 days have been pretty bad. Just a quick update for everyone who is watching. Um, yeah, on the don't remember when the Palisade fire started, but roughly I think it was around like Tuesday, Wednesday, from what I can recall. But it started to get worse, like at the end of Wednesday, and then coming into Thursday and Friday, so the 9th and the 10th. So it's like affected my streaming schedule, and I'm not unfortunate. I'm saddened by the unfortunate events that are happening to people in the LA or like the Palisade area, Thousand Oaks. I forgot the other place over there by like Malibu and all that other places over there as well. It sucks that they have to lose their homes and everything, and my prayers go out to them. Also, there's the Eaton fire, which is I think it's an arsonist who started this fire. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks as though it could be caused by arson, because the fire couldn't have spread that quickly over to from what I've read online and from what I kind of know. I think is like that gap from the Palisade to Eaton. So from like um, West Hollywood, I think. Yeah, West Hollywood and like Santa Monica, like Malibu, Palisades, Thousand Oaks, um, Calabasas, yeah, like all of that area, like it's in that area. So and it's Pasadena is like really far from that area. I wouldn't say super far, but like I would say at least like 20, 30 miles from the. I can even double check, but I'm pretty sure it's that far. So like even though fire can jump and spread, I don't think it can jump from that far of a distance all the way over there. And I think it hasn't been like extremely hot, so like you don't think it was caused by like any natural causes, like just it being like a brush fire, like started by the heat. I think it was just because of arson. But I do want to know Palisades to Eaton distance. Excuse me. Or Pasadena. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, it's about 30 miles. I was right. I was like, because I used to live in LA for a time, like 2020 all the way to 2021. So like almost like a year and a half or something like that. But yeah, I used to live there. Rent is fucking expensive. So anyway, sorry. It spent 4 minutes explaining that, but yeah. So power outage that happened in my area. I live in the IE in Southern California. Yeah, just like a straight line of like affecting cities like Ontario, Rancho, Chino, Redlands, Riverside, Loma Linda, San Bernardino, like all in that area trajectory of that area. It was just like power outages, and yeah, and then the following day was just like a scheduled power outage because like I think they have to like maintain, like I don't know how electricity works, but yeah, they had to like fix that. So again, all to this to say is that yeah, I apologize for the, well, I wouldn't say apologize, but I would say like I am saddened that I couldn't keep this consistent because of these fires, but that is just how life works. It's unfortunate, but yeah. Sorry. I've explained everything. Thank you guys for supporting and watching me and all that. And let's just get back into coding. So since I haven't been coding like that much really, so I kind of like took my day off, which is Saturday, the 11th. So I was just like working on like the pseudocode for this. So this problem is on Structy, and I'm doing the uncompressed problem. And yeah, let me kind of like explain my thought process just a little bit. So again, I think that based off of like the course content that we're going through from what the Structy website is taking me through, so it's like arrays and strings. So iterating through those things, you can either use like while loops, for loops, enumerate, like based off of like dictionaries and lists and whatnot, and like hash maps and arrays and stuff like that. I think my like forte is kind of like for loops, because like I have them. I kind of like for loops. I feel like I have more control over that versus like while loops, even though I know that while loops could be more, better, or enumerate could be a lot more like efficient, time and space efficient than for loops, but I prefer to use for loops. So sorry. So enough talking. Just get into this. So uncompressed, write a function uncompressed that takes in a string as an argument. The input string will be formatted into multiple groups according to the following pattern. So number and char. So for example, 2C or 3A, the function should return an uncompressed version of the string where each char of a group is repeated number times consecutively. You may assume that the input string is well formed according to the previous mentioned pattern. So yeah, so what we're doing, I'm going to explain my process, but just for clarification, I'm going to start off with the first index of the outer loop. So I start with like 2, or for 4, or for 2, or in this case like 127, or 3, whatever. So we're going to take, this is going to be the number and this is going to be the character. If it says 2, then we put two C's. If we have 3, we have 3A, so it's 3 A's and then 1 T. And it kind of just self-explanatory from that point on. Yeah. I'm hoping from what I've written that this would work, like 127. Because like most of these are just like one number. So like, yeah, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, 5. But this 12 or this 127 might be, I think from what I wrote up, could be possible. All right. So I'm going to declare and initialize the variable results, and I'm going to set it equal to an empty list or an array. I'm going to start off the sequence. So it's going to be like, the outer loop is going to go like this. It's going to start with 2. And then it's going to go like, it's going to do like 2C. And then I am going to create an if statement that checks if this. So we're going to start here. The outer loop checks for, well, the outer loop is going to iterate through, oh my God, I can't think right now. It's going to iterate through the string based off of the length of S. and we're going to get the length of s. So in this case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to give us the length of 6, and it's going to start off at I, which is 0, the 0 index, and then if that string's index, so the index, the content, the value within the index of 0 is a digit, then we are going to continue. And then we're going to do the inner loop of j, which again would be like, j would start here because we're not going to start at 2 again. So how we're going to not start at 2 again is that we're going to cause the range, the parameters of start and stop. We're going to start at I plus 1. So it would be 0 plus 1 would be 1. So the index of 1, which would be C. And then we're going to have the length of S plus 1. So I was thinking that this would affect how I iterate through this, because I think for loops are not able to track their, like, how they iterate through things. So I have to manually tell it to go one more. So because I think this would mess, if I kept it at like the length of S, which would be 6, I think this would affect that. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think it's okay from what I'm doing it. I can double check. So yeah, now we go to another if statement. If j is equal to the length of the S, so if it's at the end of the string itself, then now I'm confused. Why did I put that? What? Okay. Sorry guys, like I was like writing this like, you know, yesterday and kind of today, so I'm like, We'll move on to this. I'll think about this later. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is definitely today, and this was yesterday, because I was just like, what am I doing? So if j is equal to the end of the string, so then we would stop. So this has to be either this is true or this is true, which normally in this case it wouldn't be true, because like it's either or. So if the next thing is not equal to a digit, then we're going to create a variable. So we're going to declare and initialize a variable called num, and we're going to set it equal to the indices of I, which would be 2, and C. So it would be like 2C. And then so we'll know, and we're going to convert that into a number, an integer. And then the char, we're going to set that equal to like the value of that. So it's C. So we're going to loop through the number, and then we're going to, so for instance, if it is 2, then we're going to show 2, we're going to be like, oh, there's 2 C's. And then we're going to append the char to the result, and then we're going to exit the loop. And then at the very end, we're going to take the final result, because it's an array. So yeah, it's like an array like this. So we're going to use join, and then we're going to mash them together. So it's going to look like, you know, CCAAAT. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's try doing this. Or I'll just start with this stuff. Uncompress S. I'm gonna just have a return statement at the end. Just wait a minute. Yeah, it's not supposed to be indented like that. Okay, so again, we're going to start off with results. Why did I do that? I should just indent these later. I could just use alt, but whatever. All right, so we're going to declare and initialize a variable to an empty list or an array. We're going to iterate through through the outer loop I in range of the length of s. Let's just print I, for example. Oh, no, not I, s of I, because I want the values of them. So. Why is this not returning anything? Hello. Let's try here. Why is nothing happening? Is it because of the return? No. What? Bro, I'm stupid. We can't return anything because there's no... Bruh. I am tired. I'm like, what am I doing? Let's not do that one. It's too long. Okay. Bruh. Okay. I'm clearly tired. So I'm just like, why is that not working? Yeah. Okay, let's change that back to this. Let's close that again. So yeah, this will show us what the string is, and then this will show us that's 2C3A1T, and then it'll go back to this one. All right, so we've already established that. So everything's fine. All right, so I can erase this. If my gosh, if the value of index 0, because we're iterating through that, is equal to a digit, then we're going to create another inner loop. So that was the outer loop, and this is the inner loop. So for j in range, I'll do that. Yeah, so j in range of I plus 1, that makes sense. Now I'm like, we talked about this before. I'm like, let's keep it at length of s, and if there's a problem, then we'll fix that. Okay, so let's print out s of j and s of I. We can move these over here. Yeah, 2C, 2-3, 2A. Oh yeah, we haven't put this edge case in, so that's why. Okay, so all right, okay, if j is equal to length of s, or is not J, if it's not a digit. So if we, oh my gosh, if J is equal to the length of, so we're at the end of 6, so that would be T. Or if J is not equal to a digit, then we are going to print this out. So let's try again. That is not kind of, oh, okay, because I'm putting that. Let's just try that. It's kind of confusing me. So C-A-T. A-T and then T. Okay. All right, so now we're going to set num equal to the integer of s, and then this, this, char is equal to that. And we can now do another loop. Let's break this, do all that. Let's take this out. Let's print num and char. Let's close that. Most recent callback. Okay, so invalid literal for int width base 10 to 3. You know what that means. The error value error invalid literal for int, the int method with a base of 10 to C3 in Python means that you're trying to convert a string that contains non-numeric character C in this case into an integer using int, which cannot handle such strings. Essentially, it's saying that 2C3 is not a valid number in the okay. What if I, because we want just that of num. All right, let's try. It's still saying. Maybe it's because of this. Nope. I'm gonna need some help. Right. That's I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT. Why is my why is this value error? What's the word? I don't know. I can't think right now. The error occurs because your codes try to convert an invalid substring like into an integer. While I is less than the length, find the j is less than the length n is j plus 1. Because there's 3. Okay. So how can I do... if... Right. Right. Why would you want to append char and number? All right, we'll just follow this. Should I make I equal to 0? Would that help? No. Why is this not? Okay, so yes, we're going to iterate through I in the range of the length of s. If is a digit, then we're going to go through another loop. We're going to, because we can't, it's not a while loop, so we have to tell it to increment itself. So yeah, it would be 0 plus 1, which would be 1, and then this would be 6 plus, that'll be 7. If j is equal to the end of the string or is not a digit, then It's starting here, and I don't know why. I believe that the error is caused. Well, I know it's that, but like, but sorry. How can I extract the number using the int method? Okay, let's go back. Better yet, can you explain to me why that extracting the numeric substring and the conversion of it to an integer is not working in my code? The issue with extracting numeric substring and converting it to an integer is your original code lies primarily in how the inner loop is structured and the condition you're using to determine. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, there you go. What the? Okay, I want to know. Okay, so it has to do like from, oh god. So I think maybe we should use while loops because this keeping track of this, and then I think it was because of this is why. So checking, so the if statement of j equals len or s was causing the num the int method to not work due to how for loops iterate. Yes, exactly. The root issue was the condition in your if statement combined with the way you structured your for loop. This allowed the loop to access invalid ranges or incorrectly slice parts of the string. Using a while loop could indeed have been better. Yeah. Because that was there when I put in the problem the first time they were using while loops. So while loops are better at keeping track of iterable conditions, like in this case, than for loops. Ow. Oh, they're giving two responses. Exactly. While loops are generally better suited for scenarios where you need fine-grained control over the conditions that determine when to stop iterating. They're particularly useful in cases like yours, where the termination of the loop depends on dynamic, context-sensitive checks rather than fixed or predictable range. While loops are better for tracking, in your case, the loop must stop when a non-digit is encountered or the end of the string is reached. Oh, a while loop allows you to express this directly. So we should use while loops, but if we're processing non-uniform data, unknown iteration length, and complex exit conditions. But we should use for loops for fixed ranges or iterating over collections like tuples and strings. I need to write down these in my notes. Okay. Let's try it. Close that. Hello. N Z. Hmm. So I gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I added 2 more. Let's try iterating through it. So for in range of num, let's append only the character. Let's try that. Okay. Is this because it's not, we aren't, should I just use a while loop? I am so tired. Um, nah, bro. I'm just gonna, we have the same problem tomorrow, so I'm not gonna, uh, these two edge cases. I'll just keep it that way. Are not going through. Also, I should go back and I should do these with more efficient ways, like using like while loops. Like I should go back doing all of these problems because as of right now, I've been only using for loops because I understand the range method more, but like I feel like the while loops, like again, in certain contexts, are better and excel better at these certain I don't have the word for it right now, but yeah, like they just work better than that. Okay. Let's just let's keep that. Keep result. Keep I. All right. So while I is less than the length of s, if s, because like I kind of get why, but like I think I just need to practice more on why like this, because like after I write a while, I think this will make more sense because again, like it said, I need to, these are better in certain cases than in others, so I need to know when to use, because I always use, this is in the while loop. Okay, so num is equal to int char is equal to results append char times num. I also don't. What though? Okay. And then and else, yeah, we're gonna have to go back here. We're gonna have to do this again because I get everything. Because again, I don't use the while loops. I think because because like every time this iterates, I have to. So I set okay. So while I is less than the length of s, so length of s would be 6 in this case. So if I is 0, and then if the digit, then I will take j and I'll equal it to 0. Then if 0 is less than the length of s, um, what's yes, and the s is a digit, then we're going to take j and then add the increment it, do all of this, and then set I equal to j plus 1 which in this case would be wait, why did I so that's 0 and then so 1. I would be would that go to 1 or 2? It's 0 0 0 1 1 plus 1. Is it still here? Because if I do J, then this would else. Okay. We're going to have to go through these again. Just this. But not today. Yeah, I don't feel like I really, because I had the for loop, and I think that is why they're again, we can enumerate, we can while loop, we can for loop. I need to find, because that's the whole point of like getting better at these algorithms, is to be able to figure out, I'm like, okay, in this case, this would be a better alternative versus this, because there are certain limitations in that and benefits for different methods. So okay, I get all this except this, and I'm gonna have to redo this and go through my notes again. Let's see the time. It's 47 minutes. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to cut it here today. I am extremely tired. I believe tomorrow, let's go back. I think tomorrow is compress. So write a function compress that takes in a string as an argument. It's just the opposite of this. So if we have 3 A's, then we will, I'll write some pseudocode for this because I'm already thinking about that. And we're going to use while loops for this as well. Or I'll just do it for all 3. I'll just use while loops, for loops, and yeah, I should do that. Maybe, but not today. Like, I'll try doing it in a while loop. I'll try using a for loop, and I'll try using it enumerate. But also, no, like, let's go back. Let's see how he did it. Oh, I forgot. But oh my god, it's been so long. I need to do time complexity. All right, fudge. Time complexity. Based off of this, yeah, I'm assuming this is O of n squared because we're having to iterate through that twice. Because once would just be O of n. And then space complexity, depending on the variables that we have in memory, I think, I'm just I this j numchar, that's 1 2 3. I'll say O of 1. It might be constant. I don't know. All right, let's watch the video.
The approach we can use for this uncompressed problem. So in this problem, what we want to do is take in a string as input, and our input string is going to follow a very particular format. What we want to notice is our string contains multiple groups, where a single group contains a number followed by a single character. So if I look at this very first group of 2t, what that means is in my uncompressed string or my output, I need to start my string with 2 consecutive t's. In a similar way, if I look at my next group, 3o, I should have 3 o's
Okay,
consecutive.
yeah, we get that.
Now j n I equal to j. At my
Right,
j,
I was
find a character, right? An alphabetic character.
doing
If I
that.
increment j right now, I get t. Since
T.
it's an alphabetic character, that must mean I just found the n of the number part of the group. So if I look at
Right.
the pointers right now, I know that I is going to represent the start of the number portion, and j is going to represent the exclusive end of the number portion.
Right.
So in my output, I can recognize that I need to take t and repeat it twice in my output string. And obviously, to accomplish that repeating logic, we can use some mechanism like a loop. Right? Notice that my j pointer immediately points at the alphabetic character that I want to repeat. So that's good to go. At this point, what I can do is just increment my j again. So now j is pointing at this 3 character, and I also need to bring I up to speed. So I set I equal to j. And now I begin another pass of the algorithm, right? The character I need to repeat. J.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know, depending on like what character, that many times. That will, of course, give me my final output, right? At this point, if I increment j one more time, I'm out of bounds with my string, and that gives me a nice stopping condition for this main algorithm. All right, so before I send you off to implement this one, let's go ahead and talk about the complexity of this algorithm. And this one's a little tricky. What you'll want to do is, use your imagination and think about some possible worst-case input strings you can have. So what would be the worst case? Well, I know, depending on like what combination of like numbers I have within my string, that could lead to a very large output. So take a look at this example, right? I have my input string as 1000p, 1000q. First thing we might want to recognize is, this input string itself is not very large, right? The length of this input string is just 10, right? However, we know that the length of the uncompressed output string is going to be 2000, right? It's going to be 1000 p's followed by 1000 q's, right? And this is pretty interesting because I can technically give you an input string that has the same input length, but will have a drastically different output length, right? So for example, take a look at this kind of best case scenario in green. I just have 1a, 1b, 1c, 1d, and 1e. The input size of this string is also 10,
10.
but of course the output size is very trivially small, right? It's just going to be 5.
5.
So you won't be able to describe the big O complexity for this just using the length of your input string, right? Instead, you're going to have to use a few different terms. So let's try to generalize this. We know that the input length alone is not good enough. What we'll have to do is also take into account the numbers associated with any particular group. So looking at the worst case scenario, you can have a bunch of these groups and any number of them, right? So to describe the complexity of this one, I'll go ahead and define n as the number of groups. Remember that a group is just a pair of like a number portion plus a single character. So if n is the number of groups, I'll also say that m is the maximal number associated with any particular group. So I guess looking at my worst case example on the left-hand side, the m here would be 1000, right? And using those two terms, now it's really straightforward to describe complexity, right? Think of
So n times m.
Really, it would just be n times m in length. So the time complexity for that would, of course, be n times m to generate that output. In a similar way, the space complexity is n times m because we have to construct that string, output string, which contains that many characters. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about this algorithm. What I want you to do is,
Okay.
hey, program is Alvin here, right? At this point, my main loop should iterate, and also the case where my character is not a number, right? So let's say my character is a number. What I want to do is just increment j, right? So we do j plus equals 1. Let me just pull in an example here.
So he does use while loops.
So the first thing I'll do is progress j. So I'm going to do j plus equals 1 in this case as well, right? Because think about it, another language like C or C++, you would actually get a constant time string concatenation, because in a language like that, you use a similar list method, so I do result.append. And I know that we have time, but actually be a solution. I don't think anyone will have like s plus equals z. Technically.
Okay. So nm. nm. Num results I is 0, j is 0. Okay. Let's just put that for clarification. So yeah. If sj is in numbers. Oh. Because I just use is a digit, but he put it there. I don't know if calling, yeah, I don't know.
11, right? So this is the line that's
Mm.
called, right? What I want to do is instead use a similar list method, so I do result.append. I know that this operation now, right, just appending some string or some element into my list, that is definitely going to be a constant time. Obviously, after you finish iterating and building that list, you just want to join your result. So now it's a list, but I want string back, so do empty string anymore. In here, let's go ahead and test.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. A lot of. I will think of how to write this tomorrow for the compress, and then we'll go from there. Again, thank you for my viewers for watching. I apologize. I keep saying apologize. Life things happen, so I can't really apologize for that, but Um, yeah, like the internet just went out. So, yeah, again, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and or the stream, and uh, I'll be here tomorrow, continuing where I left off on the uncompressed, kind of like the paradigms and everything, and then applying that to the compressed problem. And again, I think I will go through time complexity, space complexity, and then I'll try in different like while loop, for loops, and eventually over time I'll be able to be like, oh no, that's better for a while loop. Oh, that's better for enumerate. Oh, that's better for a for loop. In the case of these arrays, um, obviously it would be different for like, you know, recursion and all these other like, you know, trees and, you know, linked list and whatever. Like I don't know. I know of them, but like I don't, you know, haven't really worked a lot with them. So yeah. That's everything. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow.